My God, I hate trucks.
Defense chief calling for a formal investigation into the, quote, cowardly action of a Chinese fishing vessel that collided with a Filipino vessel near Recto Bank last Sunday. In a statement, Defense Secretary Duterte Lorenzana said they denounced the actions of the Chinese fishing vessel, which immediately left the scene. The collision sank the Filipino vessel with 22 Filipino crewmen on board. Lorenzana said a Vietnamese fishing vessel in the vicinity rescued the Filipino fishermen. They were brought to safety with the help of the Armed Forces Western Command. Lorenzana also said the Chinese actions towards the Filipino crewmen is not what they expected from, quote, responsible and friendly people. He's calling for appropriate diplomatic action in response to the collision. The Philippine Coast Guard, however, says they are still verifying the incident. President Duterte leading Independence Day celebrations with uniformed personnel in Lanao del Sur. The event was scheduled at 2 p.m. The president arrived late. AC Nichols joins us on the phone from Malabang town in Lanao. AC, what did Mr. Duterte say?
President Duterte is calling for unity among Filipinos regardless of religion. In his Independence Day speech, the president encouraged Moros and Christians to help each other as in the past when they fought side by side against foreign invaders. He delivered the speech at a military camp here in Lanao del Sur before local officials from all over Mindanao. Now, despite differences in religious beliefs, Mr. Duterte says Filipino Christians and Moros should always remember they are brothers. The president also talked about the Bangsamoro Organic Law. Through the measure, he assures Moros that the land is theirs and nobody will be allowed to interfere. He encourages them to take advantage of the natural resources in Mindanao, including the Liguasan Marsh in Maguindanao, which reportedly contains oil deposits. Pia?
AC, can you tell us why the president chose to celebrate Independence Day there?
Well, here in Malabang, Lanao del Sur, this is where Filipino hero Jose Abad Santos was executed during World War II for refusing to cooperate with the Japanese. Mr. Duterte offered flowers at Abad Santos' monument and praised the former acting president and Chief Justice for his patriotism. The president then delivered his Independence Day speech here at the 6th Infantry Battalion headquarters. He said it's fitting to spend Independence Day here at the military camp among soldiers who lead the fight against lawless elements who pose a threat in the region. Now, he was supposed to lead the flag raising here at the camp. However, that didn't happen because he arrived 4 hours later than scheduled at around 6 p.m. And they couldn't do a flag raising anymore as it was already dark and it was also raining. He hurried off after his speech because he has another event in Cagayan de Oro. Pia?
AC Nichols there reporting. In other parts of the country, top government officials also joining Independence Day celebrations. In a speech, Chief Justice Bersamin says Filipinos should not depend on foreigners to solve the nation's problems. Joy Silas tells us more.
At 8 in the morning, Philippine flags were raised simultaneously in many parts of the country. The Philippines is celebrating its 121st Independence Day. At the Bonifacio Monument in Caloocan City, Chief Justice Bersamin called on Filipinos not to rely on foreigners for solutions to the nation's problems. Bersamin refused to identify the problems he was referring to. Asked if he meant cases filed before the International Criminal Court, Bersamin said he cannot talk about the matter because a related case is pending before the Supreme Court.
Yung pagpunta nila doon sa tingin ko lang parang propaganda. Marami naman tayong buhay na mga procedure dito at institusyon na makakalutas kung ano man ang problemang gusto nilang isangguni sa ibang bansa. Bakit hindi dito gawin?
2 complaints have been filed against President Duterte before the ICC for charges of murder and crimes against humanity. Former officials have also filed a complaint with the Hague-based court against Chinese President Xi over China's alleged infractions in the West Philippine Sea. Asked about the help being given by China and the United States,
kung ang mga China gusto nilang tumulong sila. Walang kondisyon. Amerikano, welcome. Walang kondisyon.
Meanwhile, House Speaker Gloria Macapagal Arroyo said the fight to be free from poverty is one of the biggest challenges our leaders face. She said she hopes the administration will reach its target of reducing the poverty rate by 2022. Arroyo was a guest of honor at the Independence Day celebration in Baraswain Church in Malolos, Bulacan.
Mula sa 39% noong 2001 hanggang 14% sa taong 2022, napakalaking pagbaba ng kahirapan sa loob lamang ng 20 taon. At kung makakamit nito, tagumpay ito ng buong henerasyon.
Vice President Leni Robredo led the flag-raising ceremony at the Rizal Shrine with Manila Mayor Joseph Estrada. Robredo said it is each Filipino's responsibility to create a society that is free, just, and compassionate. And for President Rodrigo Duterte, everyone should commit to making sure that the sacrifices of those who offered their lives for the country's independence will not be in vain. Joyce Ila, CNN Philippines.
The Labor Department holds simultaneous job fairs nationwide this Independence Day. Almost 69,000 job vacancies up for grabs, 51,000 for local employment, the rest overseas. Among the top posts for local jobs are production machine operators, factory workers, customer service representatives, call center agents, and delivery and service crew. Meanwhile, employers overseas are looking for cleaners, nurses, waiters, midwives, English teachers, and nursing aides. Labor Secretary Silvestre Bello III says the jobs offered at the fair are covered by the newly enacted Security of Tenure Law.
Trabaho bibigay dito, regular employee kayo. Hindi pwede contractual.
Based on the Philippine Statistics Authority data, there are 2.3 million unemployed Filipinos in the country. Militant groups taking to the streets of Manila and Makati this Independence Day, they protested what they call is the U.S. and China's invasion of the country. Rex Remito reports.
Militant groups mourn what they call the death of independence. They point a finger against the United States and China and use a coffin to represent their statement. Protesters march on TM Calao in Manila, hoping to hold a program in front of the U.S. Embassy. They decry what they call America's imperialism in the Philippines and the continuous presence of U.S. troops in the country.
Grabe po ang ginagawa sa atin na pagsisikil sa sarili nating bansa.
The police near Luneta initially blocked the protesters from getting near Rojas Boulevard, but they eventually gave in. Protesters managed to get near the embassy, but they failed to get through a tight police barricade. They did not insist and instead held a caravan towards the Chinese embassy in Makati. The groups are calling out China for its sweeping claim on almost all of the South China Sea and its multi-million-dollar infrastructure loans that could lure the country into a debt trap. Vehicles could only use a portion of the northbound lane of Hill Puyat Avenue, but traffic was manageable on a holiday. Former Bayan Muna Representative Nery Colmenares is urging the public to keep fighting for the country's sovereignty.
President Duterte destroyed not just our freedom or independence from other countries, but also our freedom to express and exercise our constitutional rights.
Thousands show up in a prayer vigil of a religious group at the center of an alleged investment scam. Our Chrissy Matula reports us live from the Quezon Memorial Circle. Chrissy, what is the situation there?
PIA members and supporters of Kapa here are wearing white as they show their unity. Kapa's Luzon representative Awan sa Kahirapan denied the allegations, but they are ready for any kind of investigation.
Simula po Friday, Saturday, Sunday hanggang Wednesday po ngayon, kung kami po ay scam, nag-alsamasa na po sana yung mga nagrereklamo na sila po ay hindi nakakatanggap ng monthly blessing. Isa pong patunay ng aming pong samahan na Kapa ay talagang religious organization, ministry po.
According to the SEC, the group has about 5 million members, but Mangas reiterates Kapa has a 10 million member base. Majority of them are overseas Filipino workers and urban poor residents. People here say no one forced them to be here, and they want to show how Kapa made an impact on their lives.
Nananawagan po ako kay Pangulong Duterte na wag naman po niya sana ipasara po yung ganito sans kasi po napakalaking tulong po sa mga mahirap.
Noong una po ay tag-T20 po kami na mag-asawa. Naibalik naman po lahat pa. Sobra-sobra na po.
Malaki na itulong din sa tuition fee ng mga anak ko. Nagbibigay siya ng financial sa tuition fee namin. Dahil naniniwala ako sa mithiin ni Pastor Joel na ito'y malaking maitulong sa pamilya namin.
The religious ministry receives donations from its members. In exchange, donors are promised a 30% monthly return called Love Gifts or monthly blessings for life. Mangaha speculates that a sudden crackdown on Kapa field offices has something to do with how the organization posed as a competition to several businessmen. Right now, as part of the ongoing vigil, some members of the group go on stage and share their testimonies. Organizers say the vigil will last up to 9 p.m. Pia?
Chrissy Di Matulak there reporting live.